start the game. Let's make some noise for the boys!
Hello and welcome to Mount Juliet High School, home of the Mount Juliet Golden Bears. Tonight we've got a non-region matchup in 6A between the Mount Juliet Golden Bears of Region 4 6A and the Overton Colts of Region 5 6A. I'm Shea Platt, joined by Zach Tompkins, and we're happy to bring you another broadcast of Mount Juliet High School football here in Week 2 as Mount Juliet and Overton are set to prepare for battle. Zach, what do we got tonight?
Well, Shea, we got another matchup for Mount Juliet, where it seems to me that they will be favored again in this ball game.
Gentlemen, it's time to go to work.
I would say your three keys to the game for Mount Juliet. Number one is attack them aggressively, pound the rock on the ground like they did last week, just stacking up yards on the in the running game. And then secondly, I'd say is put pressure on them on the defensive side of the ball, forcing turnovers, just causing chaos, and not letting them gain anything in the running game, especially. Last week, Tristan Kilmon had an outstanding performance. Looking for another one out of him tonight. And lastly, once again, keeping everybody healthy. Trying to get, you can't always do anything specific to ensure that happens, but keeping everybody healthy before we get into region play starting next week is essential for them tonight. So looking forward to the ball game this evening. It's going to be a good one.
I agree, Zach. Great keys to the game there. Mount Juliet coming in 1-0 after a 63-0 win over Glencliff last week. Overton, losers on the road at Father Ryan. They lost 24-0. These teams did meet last season, ending in a 38-0 win for Mount Juliet last year on the road at Overton. They are playing here tonight at Mel Brown Athletic Complex in Mount Juliet, and we are happy to bring it to you live for the second week in a row.
Let's hit one more time.
And here come the Golden Bears taking the field here in Week 2. We are just seconds from the kickoff. Overton on the other end, ready to take the field as well, and it's about to be football time in Mount Juliet. Overton now taking the field as well. And Zach, in a game where these two teams met 38-0 last year, I was there for that one as well. And actually a closer game for most of that one, as most people might remember. Mount Juliet struggled to open up the game early on, but by the time the second half rolled around, really pulled away from Overton. And I think they'll look to do the same here tonight. Going to be a big test for this Mount Juliet defense tonight. Of course, Overton didn't score last week at Father Ryan. Mount Juliet didn't surrender a point against Glencliff. So I'll be interested to see how this defense does, and especially up front. That defensive line really controlled Glencliff all night long. They were in the backfield seemingly every play. And Overton, one of the strengths of their team is their offensive line, led by number 74, Stephen Lasoya, the left guard. So we'll see if that Mount Juliet defensive line can penetrate that Overton offensive line the way they did Glencliff last week.
Right, and speaking of Tristan Kilmon, I wonder if he's going to be going up against that big fella on the offensive line, and that will certainly be a key matchup to look at to see how Kilmon fares against the top value prospect that John Overton has.
Pylon Hubbard.
Absolutely. And here's number 18 for Overton, David Key on the kickoff. Reggie Grimes deep for Mount Juliet, the five-star athlete. And here's Key's kick. And it's going to be fielded by Marcelo Walton at about the 15. Marcelo Walton's out to the 40. He's across the 40-yard line down to the 43-yard line of Mount Juliet to start the game. And for the second week in a row, Marcelo Walton starts the game with a big kickoff return for Mount Juliet.
Man, Shay, he was literally one more tackle broken away because right in front of me had Reggie Grimes and another guy right in front of him to defend one more blocker, just one step away from taking that one all the way to the house.
I thought he was going to, Zach. Alvin Mixon will lead the Mount Juliet offense onto the field at quarterback here out of the wing tee for Mount Juliet. He's going to go Rutland. Rutland's at the 45, scampers out, close to midfield, got to about the 48, a gain of 5, bring up 2nd and 5 for Mount Juliet. Zach, one of the things I want to watch tonight as this wing tee offense hits the field again for Mount Juliet, a little bit stiffer competition this week. I really want to see how these starters react to the wing tee. Want to see if they open it up a little bit. Just one pass last week against Glencliff, which was the first play of the game. And I'll be interested to watch this offense as it takes the field against Overton tonight.
Right, and we were talking about last week, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They didn't really need to throw a pass. And so they didn't really go to the air very much. Looks right here. We're going around the end.
That's Sal. He picks up.
Colby Martin on the carry.
Or it's Martin, excuse me. Picks up 1.
But, yeah, you look at,
Martin on the
do you
tackle.
open up the playbook a little bit? I'm sure, here to start out, they want to pick up this first down right here and kind of stick with their basic, strategy of offense, which is, stretch them out, do misdirection here and there, and maybe after the first couple of series, see how things are going, whether or not they need to expand the playbook.
Yeah, 3rd down for Mount Juliet to start the game here. Only faced 1 3rd down last week. Big Reggie Grimes on the field for the first time at wingback for Mount Juliet. He's going to get the carry. He's going right. He's got the first down and more. He's out to the Overton 35-yard line, and that's a first down. Mount Juliet move the chains. Reggie Grimes.
That was a big-time juke by Reggie Grimes there. Got the ball around the end, made a little juke step inside, got the linebacker to bait on it, and then was able to push him off of him and turn what looked like to be maybe a 1-yard gain into about a 12-yard gain. Big run right there by Reggie Grimes.
Yeah, very good run there. 1st and 10, Mixon under center again. He's got Grimes going left, gives it up the middle. That's going to gain about 2 yards. We'll bring up 2nd and 8 for the Mount Juliet at the Overton 33.
Justin Harrigan on the carry.
It's Harrington on the carry, his first carry of the night.
Tackle made by Sudbury.
And I'll tell you what, another thing about Mount Juliet's offense is I kind of want to see this kid Mixon. I want to see him throw the rock a little bit tonight. I want to see kind of when we watched him a little bit in preseason, he was a little hesitant to throw the dump down pass. He seemed like he was looking to go deep a lot, and I don't know if that was just him wanting to try and make a play or what. Right there, didn't really seem like nothing was there. Had some pressure on him, but I'm definitely interested to see how well he can throw the ball, and so maybe he'll get that opportunity tonight. Maybe right here on a long down and distance on 3rd down.
Yeah, 3rd and 9 for Mount Juliet as Mixon throws it away there. And I'll tell you, Zach, I'm really excited about Alvin Mixon. We'll talk more about him later, but I think he can be a dynamic player in this Mount Juliet offense this season, and something that I think a lot of people were taking for granted on this Mount Juliet football team. And we'll talk about him. I think he's going to be a special player for Mount Juliet this year. And he drops back, rolls out and throws. He's got Rutland. Did he stay in? Refs are talking about it. Down at about the 16-yard line. They call it a catch and a first down for Mount Juliet. Down to the 16-yard line, a gain of 16. Mount Juliet will have 1st and 10 at the Overton 16-yard line.
What a nice pass by Alvin Mixon right there. Just as we're talking about him, play action, rolling to his left, able to square his body up and put the throw on the money right on the sideline, allowing his receiver to make the catch and get a big first down. Big play, Alvin Mixon.
Got Ruzak going right. He'll give up the middle to Harrington again. Harrington is in the end zone. 15-yard touchdown run for Mount Juliet. They're on the board first. 6-0 Golden Bears.
With another.
Well, there you go. You hit him with the play-action pass, get him thinking about the pass a little bit, and then just here's the big old Justin Harrington right up the middle, up the gut. Would not be denied. 6-0 Golden Bears. Great start for Mount Juliet.
And look at this, Zach. Mount Juliet comes out a little bit different in the extra point. Something I was talking to the coaches, thought we might see this week. We'll see if they do indeed kick it or they go for 2 here. They're going to kick it.
In for the extra point attempt.
This will be Robbie Brewington for the point after touchdown. Nope, it's
They will
faked.
fake
We
it.
got Malik Bowen running right. He is in. It's 8-0 Mount Juliet early.
Malik Bowen.
And I'll tell you, Zach, that's Trey Perry to a T.
Is good.
You never know when Trey Perry will pull out a special teams trick. He is one of the best special team coaches I have seen in high school football year after year, game after game. He's not afraid to mix it up. Even early on, first possession of the game, fakes the extra point. It's 8-0 Mount Juliet.
Well, I know for a fact, Shay, that those coaches, they don't take special teams lightly. You know, they always consider all 3 phases of the game. And, you know, I'm up there coaching baseball oftentimes and look across on the other side on the practice field, and a lot of the times I see those special teamers out there working on special teams plays, even the fundamental plays, and then sometimes mixing in those trick plays. And, yes, you're right, throughout the years, Trey Perry, he's not afraid to pull something out of the hat. And there he is right there getting his team a spark with a 2-point conversion on the fake field goal. Great job.
We got 9:05 to go in the first quarter. Again, Mount Juliet leads 8-0 to start the game here against Overton. I'm Shay Flatt, joined by Zach Tompkins in the booth. We're bringing you Mount Juliet football live here from the Mel Brown Athletic Complex here in week 2. We got Robbie Brewington set to kick off for Mount Juliet from his own 40.
And I would like to point out that Mr. Brewington heard me call him out for kicking the ball a good amount of ways, sitting at, what does it say on here, 5'7", 135 pounds. He wanted to let me know that he weighs 148 pounds, and he's been putting in that work this offseason.
Putting it in, absolutely. And here's Overton, number 8. That's David Jefferson on the return, and a great return for Overton. He's out to the 41-yard line to start the drive. Very good field position for Overton here as they take over for the first time in the game.
Now, speaking of the kickoff there, I don't know if Brewington was intending on trying to place that ball right there in front of the returners. It seemed like it was an intentional kick to me, but it didn't work out for him that time. That's a good return for Overton.
Yes, it was. And here's the 3-year starter, Sam Mass at quarterback for Overton. He's out of the shotgun and gives it. That's number 81, Adams Diamande on the carry.
Big Brian Aiken on the tackle there.
I love
Stop made by number 23 for the Golden
Zach. I
Bears.
think he's
Brian
also
Aiken.
another guy that's going to have a very big year for Mount Juliet. There's Mast out of the pistol again. Shotgun snap a little high. Reggie Grimes on the pressure there. Pass incomplete. Michael Rutland on the coverage. It'll be 3rd and 8 for Overton.
Michael Rutland with the defense. 3rd down, Overton.
I'm just going to be honest with you. If I happen to walk up to the line of scrimmage and I'm the quarterback for a team and I know that my play
Make some noise
calls
for
for
the
me to
Bears.
roll out to my right and I see Reggie Grimes over there, I don't know, man. I'm probably going to be a little bit skeptical to go rolling out on his side.
No doubt about it, Zach. Here's Mast out of the pistol for a 3rd time. He takes a shotgun snap. He's going to look for room. Grimes on the coverage that time. It's going to be a 1st down, though, complete out to the Mount Juliet 49-yard line. That was C.J. Martin on the reception from Mast. 1st and 10 for Overton.
Good blocking up front by Overton's offensive line. Like we said, that's the strength of their team. They did a good job picking up the Mount Juliet rushers right there, held them off, gave quarterback enough time to sit in the pocket, kind of roll out a little bit and find an open guy, complete a 3rd down.
Be 1st and 10 at the Mount Juliet 48-yard line for Overton. Under 8 minutes to go first quarter. Here's Mast. He's going to keep it up the middle. Gained a good amount of yardage. Might have gained 5. He's out to the Mount Juliet 43-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Braden Steele with the tackle for the Golden Bears. Pick up a 5 Check that. Pick up a 4.
I'll tell you, Zach, coming off a 1-9 season last year for the Bobcats, you think maybe they don't have a lot returning. How about 10 seniors starting on offense for the Bobcats? The lone one that is not is a junior. A lot of experience on this Bobcat offense, led by third-year starting quarterback, number 10, Sam Mast. Here's Mast. He's got it going to Diamond Day, and he's going to gain maybe 1 out to the 43-yard line.
81 on the carry. Stop made by number 4.
Yeah, Mount Juliet seeing the sweep to the short side of the field, just filling their lanes, pushing that runner to the outside, and he finally gets to the sideline and has nowhere to go. But to your point, Shay, you know, it's always very good when your team is led or has the better players on the team are seniors. When you have a senior-led team, you know that you got guys holding each other accountable, and especially guys that have experienced playing varsity football before, and that's exactly what you want as a head coach, senior-led team.
Here's Mast on 3rd and 6, going to keep it again. Short of the first down. Brought down at the 41-yard line. Going to be 4th and 3 for Overton at the 41. Got a man down on the field. Looks like number 7. That's C.J. Martin down for Overton. I'll tell you, with the man down, we got a minute to talk about it. Very interesting decision, I think, right here for Overton. You got the ball at the Mount Juliet 41-yard line. You shut out last week against Father Ryan, shut out last season against Mount Juliet. Maybe a good opportunity here on 4th and a manageable down to go for this 4th down right here, Zach. Of course, we couldn't blame them if they try to punt and pin Mount Juliet deep, but wouldn't be surprised if they elect to go for this. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. You come in playing on Mount Juliet's field. You had struggled offensively last week, and it's really a tough call. As a coach, you got to decide, what are my strengths of my team, and if the strength of my team is my offensive line, and so far it's looked like whenever they've run the ball north and south instead of side to side, they've been able to gain 3, 4, 5 yards each time. So, maybe the coach, gives his offense and a vote of confidence and says, you know what, guys, we can make this thing, and, we're going to come out here and make a statement, on the first drive with our offense, and we're going to go down there and put some points on the board. And, but once again, it's that risk that you take, and if it's successful, then your team's feeling good. If not, then you could be looking at a world of hurt. So, but I'd say if I was the coach, I'm going for it right here. I'm going for it, absolutely. I'm a big fan of the one and only Clay Travis, and his motto is shoot or shoot. And I'm all about shoot or shooting, man. So if I'm a head coach, if I'm Steve Williams for Overton, man, I'm shooting.
Pick up a 2 on the play.
I agree.
Good to see C.J. Martin.
Yeah, carried off on the field there.
Looks like an ankle.
Helped with some trainers there, so wish him the best. Never want to see anybody injured out here in high school football. And let's see, Mast is coming on the field, but he's also the punter for Overton. And looks like they are going to punt the ball away to Mount Juliet. And like we said, Zach, it's a tough decision. I think the last thing you want to do coming in here on the road as an underdog is go down 2 scores to Mount Juliet. If you feel the best way to avoid that is to punt the ball, I agree with it. I just think the best way to avoid it is to not let Mount Juliet's offense touch the ball. Mast will punt it. It's a good punt. It's out of bounds. Actually out of bounds a little earlier than I thought it was. The ref's going to mark that.
Punt goes
up
out
at
of
the
bounds.
Mount Juliet 26. 1st and 10, Mount Juliet.
It'll be 1st and 10, Golden Bears from the 26-yard line.
So, Zach, looking back at it, you got a 15-yard net punt. 4th and 4. Again, I mean.
Right, and so, that's where, how good of a punter is Mast. I don't know. That maybe he shanked that one. We don't know exactly how good of a punter he is. So, 15 yards. But, hey, we'll see.
Here's Mixon. Got the carry going left. It'll be out to the 30-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd and 6 for Mount Juliet. That's Colby Martin on the carry. Second carry of the game. And Mount Juliet's offense. The question is, can Overton stop this Mount Juliet offense? It is a lethal attack. They're already up 8-0. gain an easy 5 yards there on first down. They really seem to be clicking right now for Mount Juliet. Here's Mixon again on 2nd and 5. He'll give it up the middle. Stopped a little bit past the line of scrimmage there by Overton. Bring up another 3rd down for Mount Juliet. Going to be 3rd and 3. Gain of 2 by Walton.
Good stop there by Overton on the trap play for Mount Juliet. The trap play is when you send the jet motion, send the halfback in jet motion, and you fake the sweep, and then come right back around, hand it off to the fullback up the middle. Only good for about a gain of 2 right there, though, so we'll see what they go to right here on 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3 for Mixon. Mixon's gonna keep it. I love it. Out to the 42-yard line for Mount Juliet. 1st and 10, Golden Bears.
And I forget exactly what they call that play, but I know that's just a dive option right there to where Mixon snaps the ball. He gets it. He extends it out for the fullback, and he basically reads what number 74 right there, Stephen Lasoya, what he's going to do. If he stays set, he hands it off of the middle, but right there, 74, he bit down on the fullback. Mixon keeps it and is able to run up and gain about 5-6 yards on that run.
Did exactly what he was supposed to do. He's going to give this one. He's going to get out to about the 35-yard line for Mount Juliet. It'll bring up 2nd and 8. And, yeah, that's a dangerous play for Mount Juliet, Zach, and that's what I'm talking about with Mixon. He's one of those guys that, you know, even if he's got the ability, even if he reads one wrong, he can still make a play out of it, and that's rare. Whether you're talking about high school football or college, a guy that's such a great athlete that can actually do something wrong and still make a big play out of it to where no one really notices until they get back and watch the film.
Right. I mean, when you're when you're that good of an athlete, you know, you can make up for mistakes with your athleticism and your speed, and that's always good. And I believe that's why they love having this kid at quarterback. Tripped up over somebody's feet there.
And that's got to be a late hit on Overton.
Quarterback keeper.
There is a flag down on the other side of the field.
I don't know if that's what that's for, but definitely a late hit. Mixon hit the ground, hit a few seconds after.
Flag on the play.
It's like an illegal motion.
Warning, maybe. And Mount Juliet going to go quick here.
And they'll decline the penalty. I think that's illegal shift or illegal motion.
Was, yep. It's going to be 3rd and 12 for Mount Juliet. They're at their own 40. Here's Mixon under center. He's going to throw. It's out of bounds. Bring up 4th and 12, and for the first time this season, Mount Juliet will have to punt.
4th down for the Golden Bears.
Well, hey, they went for it. You know, Mixon throws that ball up, and
that last penalty was illegal.
When you throw that ball up, you definitely want to. You definitely don't want to leave it short. You know, and give that defender an opportunity to intercept that ball. So, if you know, as a quarterback, you throw that ball up and it's either the receiver has a chance or it's going over his head out of bounds, and we'll punt it. We'll play defense. We have a really good defense. So
here's Matt Pewitt on the punt for Mount Juliet. And it is blocked. Scooped up by Overton at the Mount Juliet 9-yard line, and a huge special teams play by the Bobcats has them in business. 1st and 10, Overton will take over at the Mount Juliet 9.
Yeah, Shay, 2 guys from the outside right there just rushed right through. Nobody touched them.
From the 9-yard line.
They were able to get back in there and you know, get on the punt as the punter was punting it, and you know, big special teams play right there by Overton. I mean, that's the kind of, you come into Mount Juliet, you know, facing a tough team. You haven't scored any points all year long. You need a big play, and there it is right there. You know, they gave themselves a big play, and now outstanding field position. We'll see what their offense can do right here.
For sure. Free release on the punt. Unlike Mount Juliet to give up something like that, we'll see if Overton can take advantage. And here's Mast under center for the first time in the game. He's going to give it up the middle to Diamond Day. He's got it out to maybe the Mount Juliet 5-yard line.
Running right there, we talked about him a couple times, number 74, Stephen Lasoya. He is a senior on this Overton football team, coming in at 6'3", 300 pounds. I believe has a few Division I offers. Is that right, Shay?
Yeah, offers from Middle Tennessee State University, Austin P, TSU, Tennessee Tech. So MTSU, obviously an FBS school, and then some of the, Austin P, one of the stronger FCS programs in America right now under Coach Will Healy. So definitely some good collegiate offers there as Diamond Day takes the second down carry and got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe bring up a huge 3rd and goal for Overton at the Mount Juliet 5. They really need this sack.
Yeah, they do. Good push up front by Mount Juliet. On the play before, they sent the man in motion behind the fullback, and they kind of gave a handoff on the opposite direction on that play. They sent the guy in motion and made a handoff to the other side. So trying to mix the play calling up just a little bit for Overton, keep Mount Juliet off balance, but not to be denied, Mount Juliet's front's really dominating so far.
Here's Mass in the pistol. David Jefferson behind him. Mass is going to throw right. Coverage by Michael Rutland. Pass is incomplete. Intended for number 1, Jalen Bayless. 4th and goal for Overton. And I'll tell you, Zach, if I'm Overton, there's one guy on Mount Juliet's defense I'm not throwing it near. It's Michael Rutland, number 4.
Oh, yeah.
Great
what a
defense.
Good defender he is in the secondary, Michael Rutland. You see right there, he keeping his man in front of him, not biting on the outside fake, staying with him on the slant route and getting his lead arm in there to bat that ball away. Big 3rd down stop right there.
Watch for flying footballs in the concession area.
There's a snap set. Kick is blocked by Mount Juliet. Anything you can do, I can do better, says Mount Juliet. They blocked the field goal attempt for Overton. They preserve the 8-0 lead. Didn't see who got in there quick for Mount Juliet, but a great play by Mount Juliet as they block the field goal and keep Overton off the board here in the first quarter. Overton took over at the Mount Juliet 10-yard line after a blocked punt. Mount Juliet's defense stands tall. They'll get the ball back at their own 10.
Big time right there. I think that was either number 4, Michael Rutland, or number 2, Marcelo Walton. Either way, huge play right there. And I was actually about to say, well, the shutout streak ends in the second game, but no, sir. 0 remains on the board.
Yeah, I think it was Rutland, but not 100% sure as Mixon gives the first down carry. Gets out to the 12-yard line by Walton there, and it'll be 2nd and 8 for Mount Juliet. But, yeah, I was thinking the same thing, And, that's something that I know the coaches don't want to talk about it, but we'll talk about it all day, right, Zach? It's a shutout streak that lasted 6 games last year. You do it the first game this year, and everybody's talking about it. How long can they keep it this year? Well, they're keeping it so far through a game and a quarter. And here's Rutland. First down carry. He's out to the 21-yard line. That's a gain of 9 and a first down for Mount Juliet.
Right now would be a great time for Mount Juliet to bust off a big play, big long run. Because, Overton blocks that punt, and they have all the momentum. They can have the ball on the 15-yard line, right in there to score. 3 plays, only about 5 yards, line up for a field goal, saying, all right, we're going to get some points, stay in this game, and boom, blocked. If Mount Juliet can find a way to bust a big one here, that would be just detrimental to this Overton team.
Handoff goes to Harrington on that one up the middle, gained about 8. Be 2nd and 2 for Mount Juliet. They're at at their own 32-yard line now. Clock running under 2 minutes to go, first quarter.
Pickup of 8, 2nd and short for the Golden Bears.
Actually going to be 2nd and 1 for Mount Juliet, gain of 9 there for Harrington. He's going to get it again. And he's out to the 39-yard line now. And that's a 1st and 10 for Mount Juliet. They got it at the 39. And this offense is rolling it again. They get downhill so quickly, Zach. You got so many guys out there that you're worried about. Of course, you got Harrington. You got the quarterback Mixon. You got big Reggie Grimes on the wing. You got Connor Ruzak on the wing. All these guys are capable of literally taking it the distance.
Timeout.
So a lot to worry about for Overton. Just simple handoff up the middle there, and first down for Mount Juliet.
I mean, when you have that many players at the skill position,
you
could just swap them in and out, continuously getting fresh bodies out there. And, I mean, that's just the benefit. We talked about it a little bit last week with Glencliff, same thing with Overton. You look over on the other sideline, and there just aren't that many bodies. Especially when you see the sideline over here at Mount Juliet, just so many players compared to the number of players that Overton has. And Mount Juliet's able to just rotate them in, constantly having fresh guys out there just ready to, run you over. And then Overton guys out there getting winded, probably playing both sides of the ball, having a hard time. One thing I would like to say, though, it is important for Mount Juliet, especially somebody like Reggie Grimes. Right? We've seen him carry the ball one time this game so far. And, you just can't get selfish. You have to continue the team mindset and say, we're going to do what's best for the team. So whoever's number is called on that play, we're going to run it. Here's the slice.
Love it. Oh,
fumble.
It's fumbled by Martin. Still loose. I think Overton's on it. We'll see who comes out of there with it. It's going to be Overton football. Nice play by Mount Juliet there. Kobe Martin on the fumble, and I know he's not going to be happy about that one. Overton's going to take over first and 10. It'll be at their own 42-yard line, Zach.
Yeah, good play by Mount Juliet. Ran the little reverse. I call that play the slice, where they fake the toss and then bring the guy up from underneath, for a good game. But Rutland just a little careless with the ball once he got into the open field there, and that's one thing you gotta preach, to your ball carrier. Just even when you get that thing out in the open field, you gotta keep it high and tight, tucked in there. Just a little loose there. Kobe Martin. He'll learn from that play, and he'll be better for it. It's okay. His defense has got to step up, make a play here.
Yep. Here's Mass, first and 10 for Overton again. Going to take the draw up the middle, nowhere. That's Brian Aiken.
Quarterback keeper.
And number 36.
With a tackle.
Britton Steele on the tackle there. And again, this Mount Juliet defense so tough.
Especially
that defensive line. You look across that defensive line, I mean, just loaded. You got Reggie Grimes, of course. You got Tristan Kilman. You got Brian Aiken, number 23, the two-sport athlete, also playing basketball. Number 34, Derek Miller. This is a loaded defensive front for Mount Juliet.
And also number 77, Zach Delfendahl, just checked in from Mount Juliet. He's another big kid at 6'5", 260.
Yeah, absolutely.
Reggie.
Pass going to be incomplete by Mass. Cage Ellis on the coverage. Bring us to the end of the first quarter. Your score, Mount Juliet 8, Overton nothing here at the end of the first quarter. Again, I'm Shea Flatt, joined by Zach Tompkins in the booth, and we're bringing you Mount Juliet football live from the Bears News Network. As we hit the second quarter, Overton has the ball. It'll be 3rd and 10 when we come back at the start of the second quarter here from the Mel Brown Athletic Complex.
Start the second quarter. It's 3rd down and 10.
We're back here to 3rd and
for
10.
Overton. Let's make some noise
for Overton here. Second quarter underway. We'll see if the Bears can get some pressure on Mast here on 3rd and long. 4 wide for Overton out of the pistol. Mast takes the snap a little low. He throws it. Got to complete. That is out to the Mount Juliet 41-yard line. Jalen Bayless on the reception, and a big first down throw from Mast to Bayless there for Overton.
Yeah, Mount Juliet in zone coverage there on the defensive side with the linebackers taking a step forward, recognizing the pass, dropping back. But
number 1 with reception.
Overton receiver there able to just run a little dig route, about a 10, 12-yard dig route, and just sat right in there in the soft spot in the zone coverage there for a first down.
Fantastic route against zone coverage there for Overton. Here's Mast again. He's got it going left. This is number 8, David Jefferson. He's brought down, no gain, to be 2nd and 10.
Number 8 on the carry.
Stopped by
stop for the Golden Bears.
36, Britton Steele, 42, Jace Pardue. Britton Steele, I'm a teacher here at Mount Juliet, and I've got him in one of my classes. I really like that kid. He's a smart individual. He's driven. He's on the student council. He's dealing with a lot of things right now, having to deal with his job and working on the senior float and all this stuff. But that kid certainly gets after it, and I like to see him out here on Friday nights doing a good job.
2nd and 10. Handoff's going to go Jefferson again. This time gains about 5. It'll be 3rd and 5 for Overton here.
Stop made by number 36, Britton Steele.
Steele again on the tackle.
Pick up a 4, 3rd down and 6 for Overton.
All right, you got 3rd down and 6 here, and Overton's been able to find some room in the passing game in the past couple of plays. I wonder if Mount Juliet's going to bring a blitz here, maybe play some man coverage, try and get a little bit of pressure on the quarterback. Looks like they're coming for him. Oh, yeah, pressure. Found the soft spot.
Yeah, they went to zone coverage again there for Mount Juliet and found the empty spot again. And I'll tell you, this is the product of having a third-year quarterback in high school football. It's rare that you see a team have that. And Mass is showing you why it matters right now. He's really commanding this Overton offense. He's impressing me right now here in the first half for Overton. They're down to the 21-yard line of Mount Juliet, trailing 8-0.
I mean, that was a great throw right there. Unblocked linebacker blitzing right through the middle, coming right at him. I'm sure he saw him coming for him, and just being able to have the toughness to stay in there and just deliver that football. That's a really good play.
For sure. Here's Bass on the carry going right. Picks up about 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. Yeah, you're right, Zach. I mean, that's a big-time throw there. He stood in there, didn't flinch, delivered the ball with pinpoint accuracy, hit his receiver in stride for a big first down on 3rd down. I mean, that's what you want out of your quarterback. And I'll tell you what, Zach, this Overton team, they went 1-9 last year. That's not going to happen this year. I was looking at the region a little bit this week, and I think they can compete for a playoff spot. I really do. They're in a big region there with Cane Ridge, Antioch, Laverne, Smyrna, and Stewart's Creek and McGavock there. But obviously, you probably pencil in Cane Ridge and Smyrna are going to be in the playoffs. They're going to take 2 of those 4 spots, especially Cane Ridge. They're winners of 18 straight inside this region. But Overton, I think, is going to take a big step forward this year. Obviously, a program that's not used to seasons like 1-9 in recent years. And I think they can get back to winning some football games this year. As we have it here, it's 3rd and 4 for Overton at the Mount Juliet 15-yard line. 8:24 to go, 2nd quarter. They give it up the middle to Jefferson on 3rd and 4, and it goes nowhere. Mount Juliet got all the push on that play and stopped it before it even got going. We'll bring up 4th and 5. We'll see what Overton decides to do here. They're going to kick it again.
I mean, we've got a flag down here.
Flag on the play.
Not looking too good. Sideline warning against Mount Juliet. Probably
sideline warning against Mount Juliet.
Not throwing blame, maybe potentially defensive coordinator down there, Greg Abner. I know that guy gets after it, so he might have stepped over the line maybe when he shouldn't have. So
Mother to kick.
Timeout Overton right before the kick, and it's blocked by Rutland again. Man, that kid can fly off the edge. I'm not kicking this again if I'm Overton, Zach.
I mean, goodness. Good call by Coach Williams there, calling that timeout. He obviously saw something he didn't like, and he's, you got a 4th and 4 here from the 15. I mean, not many high school kickers can make this
32-yard field goal.
32-yard field goal. I mean that's tough for a high schooler.
I tell you what, Trey Perry not happy on the field right now with the officiating on that. Did not think that Williams got the timeout off. I'll tell you, I was watching him run down the sideline. I think they made the right call to give him the timeout there. I'm not sure if that's what Trey's upset about or not, but he did get the timeout off, but I tell you, again, 4th and 4, and yeah, they're going to send Mass back out. They got to figure something out on that field goal unit because Rutland is coming off the edge like a missile. And this is a huge play in this football game. 4th and 4, Overton from the Mount Juliet 15-yard line. Mass out of the pistol, Jefferson behind him.
We got single coverage up top.
They're going to motion the guy. He got 4 wide now. And Jefferson's going to try to get to the outside. He didn't get it. Short. Mount Juliet's going to take over on downs. 1st and 10. They'll get it at their own 11.
Your Mount Juliet Golden Bears take over on downs.
While we have a moment here, going to give you some scores of note throughout Middle Tennessee. Smyrna leading Wilson Central 7-0. Cane Ridge and Brentwood tied at 7, and the big one everybody's keeping an eye on, Oakland and Maryville tangling tonight, and Maryville leads Oakland 14-0 in the first half of that one. And that surprises me, Zach. I thought Oakland might be all over Maryville tonight.
Yeah, but you never know. It's still probably early. I know that Oakland was down to Hendersonville last week at one point in time. Then they kind of ran away from him. Here comes Reggie Grimes.
That's a big-time carry for Reggie Grimes on 1st and 10. He picks up 28 yards and a Mount Juliet first down.
Golden Bear, first down.
Excuse me, actually got out to the 43-yard line. That's a gain of 30.
I'll tell you what, man, Reggie Grimes, last year watching him play, and you see just how big he is, and he just looks like a man amongst boys out there. But last year I honestly thought that he ran the ball without maybe the tenacity that I think a big guy like him should have. But this year he has most certainly answered that call, and he's running like a madman out there on a mission. He's making a statement for sure.
Nixon on the scramble. He's got the edge. This kid can fly. He's out across midfield into Overton territory. I tell you, that's what I'm talking about. A little bit of a busted play there for Mount Juliet. Mixon couldn't find anything downfield. You got guys chasing you all over and just outruns them all to the edge. Gets out to midfield, makes something out of nothing to bring up 2nd and 3 for Mount Juliet. That play is blown up for Mount Juliet. I tell you, Zach, I get a message after that run by Reggie Grimes from one of my buddies talking about Reggie Grimes. He's an absolute animal. Scott Prim chiming in. And, yeah, he is. He got the edge there, took it all the way down the sideline, picked up 30 yards, and a first down for Mount Juliet. They've got 3rd and 7 as it is here. They're at their own 46-yard line.
I wonder if they're going to go to the air or stay on the ground here.
They're going to keep it on the ground. It's Colby Martin.
Colby Martin.
Down Mount Juliet, and I love it, Zach. The guy fumbles the football. What do? Give him the rock again. They trust these players, especially Martin. He's a veteran player for this team, and they trust him. He fumbled the ball. That's okay, kid. Get back in there, shake it off. Get them next time. Love the mentality by the coaches.
That's right. You hear guys talk about with quarterbacks, they throw an interception on one drive and they get them back out there. Well, let's go ahead and put the ball back in the air again. Just tell them that we still believe in you. We still have confidence in you. So right there, 3rd and 8, give Colby Martin the rock and say, you know what, big man or little man, actually, go speed your way up there and get that first down. That's what he did.
For sure. That's Harrington on the carry there on first down. It'll be 2nd and 5 for Mount Juliet.
But yeah, talking about Reggie Grimes, he's touched the ball twice tonight so far. I just wonder what the game plan is. Maybe they're working into a system of, eventually as the season goes on, they're going to put the ball in his hands more. But, man, he's electric when he has the ball in his hands. And I just wonder, it's going to be interesting to see how often, they find ways to get him the ball. But I'd say for sure as the season goes on, you got to find a way to get the ball in his hands more often.
Pass goes right by Mixon. Hit Malik Bowen in the hands, and he dropped it. That's a rare occurrence for Mount Juliet. It'll bring up 3rd and 5 for the Golden Bears. They're at the Overton 40.
Probably a situation there where Malik just trying to catch the ball or trying to run with the ball before he catches it. Coach Williams down there on the sideline is probably just going to tell him, hey, man, just make sure that you see that ball all the way in. Make sure you possess the ball, before we get moving.
Here's Mixon, handoff. It's going to go to Harrington. That's Walton on the carry, and he's stuffed for nothing. He lost one. Bring up 4th and 6 for Mount Juliet at the Overton 41-yard line. They're going to punt it away.
Check that, Logan on the tackle. Brings up 4th down, Golden Bears.
Interesting, they get the first punt blocked. Matt Hewitt in on the first punt. They got number 26, Tyler Johnson, in on this one.
I'm telling you what, this Overton defense, man, they've answered the call here so far. A couple of good stops on the last couple of drives.
This one's skied. It's going to go out of bounds, see where they mark it.
Tyler Johnson's punt goes out of bounds.
Overton's going to take over at their own 20-yard line. That's a 21-yard punt. And you're right, Zach. I mean, the Overton defense has answered the call. And, this is a team that went and played Father Ryan last week and lost 24-0 against a team that's ranked in the top 25 across all regions in the Tennessean rankings. And so not a bad opponent at all by any means. And Father Ryan there, and they're playing Mount Juliet close here. And I tell you what, this reminded me a lot of the game last season. Is where Mount Juliet didn't have too big of a lead early on and then busted it open in the second half. We'll see if that happens again or if Overton keep this thing tight throughout. Here's Jefferson on the carry. He picks up about 3. It's out to the 24-yard line.
Yeah, and that Overton defense, keeping their team in the ball game, keeping it within a one-score game. Just so far, you think about the Overton offense, they were able to put together a pretty good drive last drive. They got it down, to about the Mount Juliet 15-yard line, and just kind of stalled out from there. And then they also had the one drive earlier, where they had the field goal opportunity, had the ball starting at the 15, and weren't able to finish. They just got to finish drives.
Mass runs into his own man. He's going to try to get it wide and cannot. He is cut down to bring up 3rd down for Overton.
Chase Pardue on the tackle.
Chase Pardue on the stop for Mount Juliet.
No gain on the play. 3rd down, Overton.
They're going to put the big guns in there on the defensive line for this 3rd and long. Reggie Grimes and Brian Aiken enter the game. We'll see if they can get after Mast here on 3rd down.
On the side of Mount Juliet right here, you definitely want to get this. You want to get off the field right here on 3rd down, get the ball back, and get some more points before you go in the locker room, make it a more than a one-score game.
Here's Mass, takes the snap, going to look to run, and he is obliterated. That's Tristan Kilman on the stop. Another tackle for loss for him.
Tristan Kilman on the tackle.
We're bringing 4th and 10 for Overton, and they'll have to punt.
Brings up 4th down for Overton. Colby Martin and Devin Palmer back deep for the Golden Bears.
We got a Overton timeout.
Overton.
That'll be their last timeout. And we got 2:07 remaining in the game here in the second quarter. Overton about to punt the ball back to Mount Juliet. We're going to see if Mount Juliet can put together something on offense here to generate some points right before the half.
Trevecca has made a degree pass for students to integrate faith and learning. You can check out Trevecca online at trevecca.edu. Trevecca, a Christian university in the heart of Nashville.
And, I'm interested to see here, Shay, right before we, go to the half. Last week where Mount Juliet was playing against Glencliff and things were just easy for them on offense. It was first 3 plays, 3 touchdowns. This week they faced a little bit of adversity, a little bit tougher of an opponent. They've stopped some of the runs that they've been able to put together, and And so a little bit of a test. And so right now, what we were talking about, do they open it up a little bit and try and do some, expand on their playbook? And, I guess we'll find out right here before the half.
Yeah, we'll see. This punt is away. It's going to hit an Overton man and be downed at the Overton 48-yard line. Mount Juliet will take over.
Just about got that punt blocked also.
It'll be 1st and 10, Golden Bears from the 48-yard line.
So you got 1:59 to go in the half here. Mount Juliet leading 8-0. Still have all 3 timeouts, so plenty of time to work with. Clock not going to be an issue on this drive for Mount Juliet at all. And we'll see if they go tempo here.
I believe that they will. MJ, the wing T offense, it's designed to move at a fast pace, get things moving in many different directions at one time. So
here's Ruzak going right.
Good blocking up front.
He's cut down, gain of 1. It's a good open field tackle right there by number 16 Detoye Adowell for Overton.
Going tempo, shotgun.
Here's Mixon.
Wide open, guy over on the left. Nobody was covering him. Oh.
Ball's incomplete. Just hung it up there a little bit as Bowen tried to run under it.
Pass incomplete.
Bowen ran over there. They went no huddle tempo. No cornerback was over there covering him. And, just on the far side of the field, running a fly route. It was just a long throw for Mixon to make, and he just left it up in the air a little bit too long, allowing the defender to catch back up to Bowen, forcing that ball incomplete.
Yeah, good play by number 2, Michael Kidd, the safety there, to get over there and make that play. They got another misdirection.
Ruzak.
That's their slice play, Zach. Ruzak's up the middle, and he's got out to the 25-yard line. That's a big gain. 1st and 10, Mount Juliet.
Yeah, look at good old Connor Ruzak right there, the spark plug for this team, running the slice play, taking it through the middle. Big gain.
1st and 10. Mixon takes the carry, goes right. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Keeper number 16 on the stop for Overton.
Got the clock stopped out there. Flag on the far side.
2nd down and 10 for the Golden Bears.
Zach, I think this is good for Mount Juliet. We talk about this being a close game still. And not a lot of,
there's a flag on the field.
You would say, stiff competition. None of the powerhouse programs on this out-of-region schedule here for Mount Juliet. It's going to be good, I think, to be tested before you hit region play against Lebanon. We'll see how they respond to that coming out in the second half. But only leading 8-0, of course, a chance here to take a 2-score lead before the half. In good shape to do so. But even so, even if you do go up 2 scores here, still in a little bit of a battle here against Overton. And like I said, I think that's good for this team. You don't want to just cruise and blow out every single person before the playoffs. And here's Walton. Mixon on a keeper. Touchdown, Mount Juliet. Fooled everyone, including me. 20-yard touchdown run for Alvin Mixon. 14-0, Mount Juliet. 1:11 to go in the half.
Big time play right there. Alvin Mixon. There you have it again. The dive option read. Mixon sticks the ball out, acting like he's going to give it to the fullback. Watches the defensive end crash down. Keeps the ball and just runs right through the hole. Jukes out the defender to the left, making him fall down and in the end zone. Big touchdown, Alvin Mixon.
Extra point is up and good this time. They go ahead and kick it. That's Robbie Brewington on the point after. It's 15-0, Mount Juliet. 1:11 to go, second quarter. And that's a big-time touchdown for the Golden Bears before they hit the locker room to see if their defense can answer the call and continue to keep Overton off the board before half.
And yeah, to your point a few minutes ago, Shay, about last year facing the competition that Mount Juliet faced, and yes, in the non-conference is not the stiffest or toughest schedule, and so throughout the year you try to keep the competition high, especially in practice, simulating really key big-time moments, in the game, which it's hard to simulate when you're going out there and blowing out everybody in your non-conference schedule. And so then you question, at the end of the year when you have to play a big playoff game and you maybe haven't faced that kind of adversity all year long, is your team ready for it, or how do you prepare for it? So that's why when you're playing a game like this where the opponent is challenging you and they're not allowing everything to be so easy for you, it's a good test, and it's a good way for coaches to find out about their players. How do you respond, in the game when things don't go your way? Because, athletes can get really frustrated and down on themselves and can have the poor me mentality whenever things aren't going their way and get frustrated. Or they can say, you know what, I'm going to answer the bell, respond right here, and that looks to be what Mount Juliet's doing tonight.
Absolutely agree. Speaking of the schedule, a lot's been said about it in the offseason. A lot of critics of Mount Juliet saying, they play a weak schedule. They might go undefeated. They might win their region again, but they play a weak schedule. Doesn't really mean anything. They can't hang with the big boys. I just want to point out one thing real quick. These schedules are set so far in advance now in high school football. It's not quite to the college level by any means, but, these things aren't set, 2 months before the season or anything. Overton, McGavock, some of these teams that were scheduled on this schedule before for this season, whenever they were scheduled, were perennial 7, 8, 9 winning football programs. So, you can't really help if you schedule somebody and then their program takes a downward spiral. It doesn't work out always in your favor for Mount Juliet.
Brings up 2nd down and 10 for Overton.
Mass on the rollout there, throws it away. It's 2nd and 10 for Overton. Yeah, one thing you can do, like you said, you can practice hard. You can mimic game reps and practice if you're Mount Juliet. Another thing you can do, you can schedule a tough schedule for the offseason in scrimmages. And that's something that they did. You look at a program like Cane Ridge, highly renowned as one of the top 6A programs in the state. They were on Mount Juliet's scrimmage schedule this season. Mount Juliet defeated Cane Ridge in that scrimmage 42-14 in an impressive outing. Also had 5A Powerhouse Beach on the offseason schedule. Beat them at their place in a shutout victory 14-0. So you may not have it in the regular season, but Mount Juliet's played some pretty good competition in the summer, and hopefully that'll have them ready for not only region play, but maybe give them a little bit of preparation for when playoff time rolls around as well. Got a timeout on the field, 57 seconds remaining in the half.
Yeah, an interesting situation here, so Overton throws an incomplete pass on 1st down, so, that took about 5, 6, 7 seconds off the clock, and the clock stops. Then they decide to run the ball up the middle there. Mount Juliet with 3 timeouts, stops them for a 3-yard gain, calls a timeout, clock stop with 57 seconds. Ball's on the 23-yard line. So, you got to think about is Mount Juliet trying to get the ball back here, and if they do, you take the chance of making a mistake and maybe giving, Overton the football back once you get it. But it's just interesting to see what Trey Perry's going for here, and it looks like he's trying to get that ball back to maybe get some more points.
Yeah, I think I know him well enough to know that's what he is going to do. He's going to try to get that ball back and score again. Overton brought down. It'll be 4th down, and immediately Trey Perry signals timeout. Got 52 seconds left on the clock. Be 4th down. Mount Juliet's going to get the ball back. And we'll see if they decide to send the house or set up a return here on the punt.
So far, they've been pretty close to blocking a couple of these punts. So maybe Coach Perry thinking he can, get in there, get one blocked, and really get some momentum going into the half here. But I'd say especially if you're the return man right here, number 1 rule, catch the football. That's all you got to worry about. I don't care if you fair catch it. Just make sure you catch that football, keep it tied up against your chest there, and give your team the ball back with a chance.
Always the first rule for a punt returner. Make sure you bring it in. Can't score if you don't have it. So it'll be 4th and 4 for Overton. They got the ball at their own 26-yard line. They're going to punt it back to Mount Juliet. It'll be Sam Mast on the punting duties for Overton. And we'll see
Martin and Palmer back deep.
if he gives
number 10
Martin a chance to return this one, and it's blocked. Got a deflection, and ball is going to flutter out. Actually took a very favorable bounce for Overton and made it out to the 35-yard line. But even still, Mount Juliet with another big special teams play. They're going to take over, it looks like, at the Overton 36-yard line with 44 seconds left and still a timeout. And plenty of time to maybe put another touchdown on the board, or at least 3 points for Mount Juliet.
Well, here I am maybe questioning calling those timeouts and getting the ball back because, you know, you can make a mistake, but how dare I, you know, how dare I question any of Trey Perry's decision-making? He knows his team and his special teams, and I'm sure he had a good feeling they were going to get in there and get that one. So kudos to him.
Here's Mixon. He's going to roll out incomplete. And yeah, Zach, that's why we're sitting up here talking, and he's down there coaching, I guess, right?
Yep, you're exactly right. Good decision by Mixon there. You know, if it's not there, just throw it away. You know, don't make it. You don't want to make a mistake right here, right? That's the only thing you don't want to do. You're on the 35-yard line. If you can gain a few more yards, you got a kicker with a good leg. Maybe give him a shot to get 3 more points as you go into the half. But no mistakes, no fumbles, no interceptions. Just take care of the football.
Clock reads 38 seconds now. Be 2nd and 10. Mixon's going to give it to Ruzak. He gains nothing. And we'll see what Mount Juliet decides to do. They're going to go tempo, no timeout. They only got one left. To be 3rd down. They're trying to hurry and get the ball set. 20 seconds now and running. Here's Mixon out of the shotgun. Mixon is going to roll out. He's going to throw. Got a man. It's Rutland down to the 10, down to the 8-yard line. 1st and 10. You got 9 seconds left on the clock and a timeout for Mount Juliet.
Wow.
That's another Wilson.
Mixon rolling out to his
no
left
timeout
there.
for Mount Juliet. They're going to get to the line and try to spike this. Mixon spikes it. Oh. I think that should have been at least 7, maybe 8 seconds left on the clock. Clock operator ran maybe a few seconds off. Perry's asking about that now. And he is irate on the field right now. I don't blame him.
Well, they snapped the football and spike it, right? So, you know, as soon as they blow the whistle, the clock's at 9. It should drop to 8. You know, they spike the ball. It should stop at 8 seconds.
Yeah, I looked at the clock. You know, I had time to turn and look at myself after the ball hit the ground, and I saw 7. And I saw 2 seconds run out after that. So, you know, that really is the difference between running one extra play and then not being able to run one and just having to kick it on right here on 2nd down. And that's a big deal right there for Mount Juliet if that they weren't able to get those seconds back.
Right, and we will point out that the clock is controlled on the field by the umpires. There's a sideline judge with a switch who controls when the clock runs and when it doesn't. So I don't know if maybe there's a malfunction there, but Trey Perry, you know, speaking, you know, obviously irritated about the fact that the clock rolled down there, but the ref said, nope, that's the deal, and so here we are, field goal attempt.
Yeah, here's Brewington for the field goal. Kick is away. It is good.
Robbie Brewington's field goal attempt is good.
And the field goal took as much time as the spike did, Zach. 4 seconons right off the clock. It's 18-0 Mount Juliet. 1 second remaining in the out. Now they're going to run it off. That'll be halftime here at the Mel Brown Athletic Complex, where Mount Juliet leads 18-0 against Overton. We'll be back for the second half.
Welcome to halftime this evening at Mount Juliet High School. Mount Juliet High School and the Mount Juliet Band of Gold would like to present for your halftime enjoyment, Rise. The Band of Gold is under the direction of Mr. Tony Cox, Sherry Grossman, and Weston DeMombrian. The band president is Jonas Norman, vice president is Ben Long, treasurer is Samantha McKinley, and secretary Sharon Miner. And now, please make welcome the 2018 Mount Juliet Band of Gold.
question is, when the field goal went up, you go, and it's up and it's. You got it over the line. Yeah. Clears the line of
One more time, let's hear it for the Mount Juliet Band of Gold.
start the second half here.
Robbie
Mount
Brewington
Juliet.
will be in for the second half kickoff. All right, let's hear it, Golden Bear fans.
And we got Robbie Brewington set to kick off to start the second half for
Let's get
Mount
this party
Juliet.
started.
I'm Shea Platt, joined by Zach Tompkins, and we're back here to broadcast the second half for Mount Juliet in Overton with the Golden Bears leading 18-0. Here's the kickoff from Brewington. It is deep through the end zone and going to be a touchback for Overton to start the second half.
There's that big leg of Robbie Brewington that we've been looking for.
Yeah, booted that one.
That'll be a touchback.
Would have been 5 or 6 yards deep in the end zone if it wasn't caught.
First and 10 from the 20-yard line for the Overton.
And, it's going to bring out Sam Mass in the Overton offense again to start the second half. And we saw some flashes from them in the first half, Zach. They weren't able to get on the scoreboard at all. But, you know, Mass made some key throws, some key third down conversions in the first half. He's going to come out with Diamond A in the backfield again. And, you know, I was impressed with him. And we'll see if he can string together something in the second half. Maybe get Overton on the board. Maybe make this a game again, trailing 18-0. First play going to go a little screen to the right. It's going to go to number 4, Samari Burns. He might have gained 1. Second and 9 for Overton.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what kind of adjustments Overton made at the half. Like you said, Mass was able to make a few good plays with his arm, staying in the pocket, taking some hits from the Mount Juliet defenseman, but made some good plays. They put together some good drives, just couldn't finish any. So, you know, we'll see what kind of adjustments they make and whether they go to the air more than the ground, because I think that's where they were a little bit more successful in the first half.
Here's Mass on 2nd and 9. Going to give handoff going Diamond A. He's going to go left. He's going to be brought down. I don't think he gained anything at all. He's going to bring up 3rd and long. He was stopped by number 12, Cage Ellis, on the play, coming up from his safety spot to make a good play.
Just on the carry. Pick up of 1, 3rd down.
Yeah, and like we pointed out, you know, you like to have an experienced quarterback, especially in a game where you're down, you know, by 18 points here in the third quarter. You know, you want a guy back there that can make a play with his arm, and Mass certainly has that ability. But this MJ defense, they're tough, and so we'll see what they draw up here on 3rd and long.
Go 3 wide to the right, 1 to the left. Mass from the pistol. He's going to take the snap, drop back, 3-step drop. Going to deliver it over the middle. This ball's going to be intercepted by Mount Juliet at the 45-yard line.
Connor Ruzak.
That was Connor Ruzak on the interception. Mount Juliet's going to take over.
They're saying incomplete.
Ball was intended for number 20, Nathan Wilson, coming across the middle there. Led him a little too far, and they're going to actually call it incomplete now.
I cannot believe that. I mean, from right here, it looked clearly that he cradled that football, got his hands up underneath it for the interception. Mast right there feeling a little bit of pressure, kind of stepped back, did the old Jay Cutler leaning back, throwing off the back foot, just kind of floated that ball up there, let his receiver out too far in front. Connor Ruzak was right there to make the play. I swear he intercepted that football, but maybe I might be a little biased. Don't really know. But good play by the defense overall.
I would not want to be a quarterback being compared to Jay Cutler. I'm just saying, not good for Mr. Mass there, but an accurate description. The punt is away. Going to let it sail over their heads. A good punt for Overton there. Going to be down at the 34-yard line. Mount Juliet will take over from there. And I agree with you, Zach. I thought he intercepted the ball as well. We got Cody Harrison up here in the booth doing stats with us. He thought it hit the ground. So maybe he's got better vision than us. I don't know, Zach. Or maybe
we'll just agree to disagree on that one.
From the 34-yard line.
I think me and you might be a little more biased, maybe. So 10-19 to go, third quarter. Mount Juliet takes on over on offense, leading 18-0. Here's Mixon. He's got it going up the middle. No, he's got to keep it. He's dynamic. He's out. Got it wide. Gain of 2 for Mixon. Bring up 2nd and 8. And goodness gracious, you think they got him, and you think they got him again, you think they got him again. Finally, they bring him down.
I mean, just a shifty player, Alvin Mixon, you know, and once again with the dive option play there, he thinks he sees something on the outside, and, you know, a couple guys think they have him, and then he hits him with the old Chris Berman whoop, and jukes him out, able to gain 5 yards on that first down.
There's Mixon. Got it going to Ruzak. Ruzak's going to gain 1. He's out to the 40. It's going to bring up 3rd and 4 for Mount Juliet. Clock running. 9:27 to go, third quarter. Mount Juliet leads Overton 18-0 here from the Mel Brown Athletic Complex. 3rd and 4 for the Golden Bears. Zach, what do you think here? 3rd and 4. What are you looking for
play,
Mount Juliet to do?
I'd certainly be looking to give the ball to Reggie Grimes. Just saying, he's lined up on the open side of the field. We're going to motion the other way.
And they're going to give it to him. That's a slice play. Reggie Grimes is at the 50. He's across the 45-yard line of Overton. First down, Mount Juliet. That's a gain right there of 18 yards and a first down for Grimes.
We have an injured player on the field.
I mean, like I said before, you got a player like Reggie Grimes. Big play, 3rd and 5. Whose hands are we going to put the football in? And, he's probably the guy. And, I liked what they did right there by kind of setting it up like they were going to go to the open side of the field, with where there's more space, and then kind of create the misdirection and then get the ball in the hands of Reggie Grimes and let him do his thing. Gain of 20, big gain, first down, Mount Juliet.
Yeah, absolutely. They got a man down for Overton there, and I like the play design as well. We've seen that play a few times for Mount Juliet so far. It's worked every single time, Zach, and we touched on it, little misdirection there. You got him going to the strong side of the field. Everybody's assuming you're going to run to the strong side of the field, give your players more room to run. Nope. Come back weak side to Reggie Grimes, and he picks up a big gain and a first down. Love the design by Trey Perry, Zach White in this offense, and we'll see if Mount Juliet can put some more points on the board before this drive's over. They're down to the 43-yard line now of Overton. 8:55 to go third quarter. Again, we got a man down. That was number 50, Charleston Suttereth for Overton. He's up and limping off with the help of a trainer. Again, good to see him going. And I will point out, number 7, C.J. Martin left the game early for Overton. Saw him at halftime, and he was on crutches, so not going to return to this ball game tonight is C.J. Martin. And obviously it looked like an ankle, maybe a knee, not sure. But he's not going to return, and we wish him the best going forward, and hopefully he can play football again this season for Overton. He's one of those seniors on the starting offense for Overton that you'd want to see him back if you're a Bobcat fan for sure.
Looking to me like we got the stacked wing over on the left here.
We did indeed. Had Martin and Grimes on that side. They give it to Grimes, and he finds room out to the 38-yard line, a gain of 7, and bring up second down for Mount Juliet.
Looking like Mount Juliet's starting to mix up their play calls a little bit here, like right there. Had both their wingback and their halfback on the left side, motion to the right to kind of create the play action or misdirection going that way. And then with Reggie still there on the left, being able to pitch it to him, good design right there for a 5-yard gain.
And, Zach, Grimes showed some pretty good footwork on that play. Stutter stepped into the hole and picked up 5. And, we talked about him, and here's Ruzak going wide. He's going to pick up a few, and we talked about Grimes last season and his performance. Again, just over 400 yards rushing on the year last year. And a lot of those were just kind of basic sweep plays to the outside, let him use his speed and get to the edge. Something they've really worked on this offseason is his ability to run up the middle, to really be patient with his run as he was on that one and try to make something out of it. And I tell you, if he ever starts hitting the hole and hitting the center of the defense, when he's able to, then he's going to be really dangerous. He's got the ball again. He's going to get to the outside. He's going to pick up a couple on first down, maybe one. It'll be 2nd and 9 for Mount Juliet.
Yeah, and like you said, Shay, it's just a small kind of things like that. Like with running backs, your footwork is so important, and your vision of being able to see the hole and when the opportunity is for you to plant your foot in the ground, get upfield, go north and south, and just impose your will on the defenseman. And I think that Reggie has most certainly grown in that aspect of his game.
He has for sure. And here's Harrington up the middle now. He's out to the 31-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd and 3 now for Mount Juliet.
With the stop. Pick up of 6, 3rd down and 4.
Oh, they're going to say he made the 32. It'll be 3rd and 4. Here's Mixon to the outside. Going to bring up 4th down and 1. That was Malik Bowen on the reception.
A little short out route there by Malik Bowen. Quick drop by Mixon, trying to get the ball in his hands quickly to get him upfield, get him to catch the ball and turn upfield, make a play. Led the pass a little far there, so he just pulled it in for the reception, creating the 4th down and 1 here.
Here's 4th and 1. Mixon looking to the sideline to get the play. Got Rutland in motion. He's going to get the ball, get to the outside. He's at the 20, 15, 10, 5, end zone. Touchdown, Mount Juliet. Michael Rutland from 23 yards out makes it look easy. And Mount Juliet starting to pull away from Overton. They're up 24-0 with 6:07 remaining 3rd quarter.
Boom. Great block right there by, first off, the offensive line up front, and then especially around the end there, number 9, Connor Ruzak, and then number 3, Malik Bowen pushing his defender all the way back into the end zone, creating the open space for Michael Rutland to get into the end zone. Big score there for the Golden Bears to pull away in this ball game.
I tell you, I think it was number 52, the guard Jackson Reese, made a good block on that play as well.
And speaking of that offensive line, the offensive line, they don't get enough credit for what they do. They're a major part of every offense, and it all starts up front. If from a football standpoint on defense and on offense, if you have nothing going on up front, it makes it especially hard for your guys that are equally, in the backfield on offense and in the secondary on defense. And, especially on offense, if your offensive linemen are allowing guys to get through, it makes things really hard for the quarterback and running backs. And so, the best games for the offensive linemen are the ones where you don't notice them. You don't notice the offensive linemen are doing their job because they're blocking guys and creating space for the runners who get all the credit. But we know for a fact that when those skill players get back to the huddle or when they get over to the sideline after they're scoring a touchdown, they are thanking every single one of those offensive linemen. And I know from experience because I have a younger brother who's a lineman coach for this coaching staff, Drew Tompkins, and I know he took pride in what he did. And those skill players, they most certainly appreciate everything that those big boys up front do for them. So good job there by the Mount Juliet offensive lineman.
It all starts there, that's for sure, Zach, and that's why you'll see when you start talking about professional football, these offensive linemen are paid a lot of money. Kick's going to be fielded about the 10-yard line, going to be out to the 21-yard line where Overton will take over. 1st and 10, down 25-0, 6:01 to go, 3rd quarter.
Number 22 with the return. Tackle made by a whole host of Golden Bears.
Trying to see who that was that got in there on that tackle. I believe it was number 88, Devin Palmer. Really good play, running upfield. Made a quick cut to get right in front of the defender and just stopped him in his tracks right there. Good play by number 88, Devin Palmer.
Masked out to lead the Overton offense once again. He's out of the shotgun. Let's take the snap. He's going to go up the middle. He's stuffed absolutely nothing. Got Tristan Kilman in there. Who else we got? Number 36 for Mount Juliet. He's coming away with the ball. That's Britton Steele. He thinks Mount Juliet has it. Refs converging.
All the coaches and players on the sideline pointing towards the Mount Juliet direction.
Refs disagree. They'll keep it with Overton. Mount Juliet Mount Juliet players disagree. They all thought they had the ball in that one. 2nd and 12 now for Overton.
Sometimes that's difficult, when the ball carrier gets the ball there in the middle of a big scrum, and maybe they did pull the ball out, but it's hard for the referees to see, and if they can't tell anything, then they just have to stick with the call on the field.
Sure. And here's Jefferson. He'll get to the outside. Nothing. Connor Ruzak brings him down. rides him out of bounds. It'll be 3rd and long now for Overton. And they're going to have to put the ball in the air, I would think, if they want to have a chance of picking up this first down. We'll see.
Overton in a tough spot here. Game's kind of, starting to get the feel of Mount Juliet pulling away. That Mount MJ with all the momentum here. 3rd down and long, 3rd and 12 here. Really needing a big play of any kind right here. Maybe drawing a penalty from Mount Juliet that we haven't seen all night, actually. So
here's Mass. Going to take a 3-step drop, swing it out. That's Jalen Bayless on the screen, and he's going to pick up 2, maybe 3 yards. He'll pick up 4th and long, and Overton's going to have to give the ball back to Mount Juliet again. They'll have to punt.
Stop made by Ashton Hurley for the Golden Bears. Brings up 4th down for Overton.
So you look at it, Zach, this feels a lot, say it again, feels a lot like last season's game. I mean, Mount Juliet creeps out to a little bit of a lead early on. They hold a small lead for majority of the first half, and then slowly start to pull away and make this thing look like an absolute blowout. And, you're up 25-0. Going to get the ball back. Mount Juliet a chance to really open this game up and put it away now. Fair caught there at the 36-yard line by Martin there for Mount Juliet.
From the 37-yard line.
Good job there by Martin securing in the ball. I believe they also, Mount Juliet, had number 17, Jamari Sowell, out there for the return. I noticed on the last punt, the ball got up there and it was headed for number 88, Devin Palmer, and he kind of ran away from where the ball, he was standing where the ball was going to bounce, and he kind of ran off, allowing the ball to bounce out. I don't know if he's having a hard time seeing the ball up in the air tonight, so I don't know if that was some kind of a switch they had to make there. But good job by Colby Martin hauling in that punt there.
Yeah, it's been Palmer every time except for that one. That's good eyes, Zach. And we got Mixon under center here. Ruzak going in motion. He'll take a quick drop and throw it out wide for Bowen. Might have been deflected at the line and falls incomplete.
Pass incomplete. Intended for Malik Bowen.
Yeah, I believe number 16, Detoye Adewale, no idea how to pronounce his name, got his hand up there. Good play by him, though, the 6'3", 225 junior.
Yeah, I think that's one time that both of us gave that name the best run that we could, Zach.
Probably just going to call him number 16 for the rest of the night.
Grimes loses his footing. Brought down, or he stumbles down for a loss of 1 on the play. He's a little slower on his feet.
Number 62, Ronnie Kramer.
He's okay. He's kind of limping off. Grimes is. It's 3rd and 11 for Mount Juliet.
Yeah, and 62, Ronnie Kramer right there, kind of shaking up on that play. And, speaking of those linemen, the biggest or the most common way that linemen get injured is when those running backs kind of tangle up on the backside of their legs there. Hopefully they're all right.
So easy to roll up on a guy. There's Mixon. He's going to throw. He's got Bowen, 1st down and more. Bowen has it. He's off to the 40-yard line for Overton, and a 1st down for Mount Juliet. Get a 24 on the play.
That's a great route run right there.
Oh, and look at this. I'll tell you what, Zach. Well, I'm going to refrain. Got a man down for Overton.
Yeah, but right there, Bowen, they run a play action to the left. Mixon comes out rolling to his right. Bowen goes up about 12 yards, fakes in on the dig, plants his foot in the ground, heads right back out towards the sideline, and Mixon delivers the ball on the money. Perfect pass and catch there on a long 3rd down. Excellent job of execution there by those two. While we've got a minute here, I've got some score updates that I'm getting from Mid-State High School Football on Twitter. We currently have Cane Ridge over leading Brentwood 21-14 in the 3rd quarter. We have Station Camp leading Gallatin 12-2 in the third quarter. Earlier at halftime, that game was 5-2. I was wondering whether there was a baseball game or a football game being played over there in Gallatin. But Station Camp got on the board there in the third quarter to take it 12-2. Let's see here. Trousdale County leading Friendship 14-7. Last time we checked, I believe Lebanon was leading McGavick 16-8 in the second quarter. I'm sure that there's a new update on that game. Don't have that one quite yet for you. And in the third quarter, last time we had it, Maryville 14 and Oakland 6.
You definitely want to keep an eye on Lebanon. They'll be here next week for Mount Juliet's region opener. And we won't be broadcasting that one live for you. My TV 30 will be here to broadcast it, and they'll take up our spot in the booth. And we might get field level for that one, Zach, and see if we can see the Golden Bears up a little closer next week.
Yeah, and, as disappointed as we are to give it over to those guys, those guys in my TV 30, Jonathan Hudden, they do a great job. And so we'll just let those guys bring the game to you next week. And we may go down on the field and get some more analysis so we can bring you guys some more quality content here in the weeks to come.
Here's Mixon. He's going to give it up the middle. It's going to be Marcelo Walton.
Marcelo Walton
picks up about 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 for Mount Juliet.
Logan with the tackle. And number 65.
We talk about all the skill guys like we got another Overton player down.
Injured player on the field. Official timeout.
Looks like he's grabbing his maybe. See, you wonder on a night like tonight here early in the season, it's the second game of the year. Players may not be fully, have their bodies in game form yet. Been going through the grind of fall camp and week 1 up to this point. But, you start getting into the grind of the season and figuring out how your body responds on game day. And so maybe here earlier on, this is when you kind of see the most, the more, guys cramping, maybe not as hydrated as they should be. Especially early on when it's hotter and, guys maybe aren't getting as much fluids as they need to. So I'd say from an injury standpoint, cramps are certainly better than an actual injury. But, this is just something you don't like to see with all these players going down. It looks like he's able to walk off under his own power. Probably a cramp if I had to guess.
Pick up a 5 on that last play. 2nd down and 5, Golden Bears.
Well, like I was saying, Mount Juliet has all these skill guys that are fast and speedy, like Ruzek and Rutland, But they also have 2 fullbacks in Harrigan and Walton that'll just pound it up and start beating you up as a defense. Speaking of one of those skill guys, spark plug Connor Ruzek there with a nice run.
He fumbled it. Looks like Mount Juliet got it back. No, they didn't. Overton's going to give that ball to Overton.
Oh, yeah. MJ got it.
Ref signaling the plays live. Mount Juliet's going to keep the ball there.
Number 4, Michael Rutland, the ball hawk, hopping on it there. He's been all around the football this evening.
That's going to be a touchdown for Mount Juliet right there. They extend the lead again. It's out to 31-0, and that's Justin Harrigan for the Mount Juliet score. Got a flag down after the play.
We'll check that.
Like I said, there he is, big Justin Harrigan. Handed off up the middle, driving in there, keep staying in his legs, driving through, not let one guy bring him down, forcing 3 or 4 guys to hop on him to take him down. But by that time, he's already in the end zone. Nice run by number 15, Justin Harrigan, touchdown for the Golden Bears.
Sure was.
Play, dead ball foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Overton. That's another Tendova.
And here you see for Overton, maybe getting frustrated with how the game's getting out of hand now, and starts to always get a little bit chippy, whenever you're getting beat, and it's tough to maintain your composure and stay disciplined, and a little extracurricular activity. And Mount Juliet's just got to make sure that they don't give in and start partaking in any of that. Just stay doing your job and, stay disciplined. Don't want any extra curricular fouls.
Extra point is up and good. I think that was number 26, Tyler Johnson, on the extra point. It's 32-0 Mount Juliet. 2:17 to go, third quarter.
Mount Juliet Golden Bears 32.
Another score out there for you in the fourth quarter. The big one. Maryville leads Oakland 17-14 in a battle of what a lot of people think are the two best teams in the entire state. 17-14, Maryville leads Oakland fourth quarter. That's a game last year, though, that, you see Oakland win in the regular season, snapping the long win streak for Maryville in the regular season. Maryville comes back in the playoffs, beats Oakland, goes on to win another state championship in 6A. So might not be the last two times those teams tango, but I'll tell you this, I know Mount Juliet hopes it's the last time they tango. Mount Juliet's going to have to go through Oakland, most likely, to get to Maryville.
Number 22 and number 4 back deep for Overton.
A region score of note, Hendersonville leads Centennial in the third quarter, 31-26. Hendersonville and Lebanon thought to be probably the two biggest competitors to Mount Juliet's back-to-back Region 4 6A crown. So we'll keep an eye on Hendersonville and Centennial as well as Lebanon and McGavock. Lebanon, last check, still leads McGavock 16-8. Here's the kickoff, and that's going to go through the end zone, kicking off 15 yards ahead that time.
That'll be a touchback. First and 10, Overton from the 20-yard line.
Mount Juliet Christian for score in the area trails Watertown 41-0, and Mount Juliet Christian had a pretty decent season last year. Thought maybe they could be a sleeper team this year, but trailing Watertown 41-0. That one takes me a little bit by surprise there. And Trousdale County leading Friendship Christian 14-7.
Seeing a few new players out there from Mount Juliet on the defensive side. Number 8, Ashton Hurley at linebacker.
And there's Mass. He's got it complete. That goes to number 13, Mike Martin, out first down for Overton.
Tackled by another new sub out there for Mount Juliet, number 14, Ray O'Daffer. And also here at cornerback, number 6, Cam Malone. So good to see some of those younger players, getting some more action, being able to get out there, get some experience again like they did last week.
Here's Mass on the keeper. Oh, he took a big shot, maybe around the head area. He got 4 yards. He's out to the 40-yard line. Be 2nd and 5 for Overton now.
With a tackle. With an assist from
yeah, Shay, talking about the region, you got Mount Juliet seemingly about to go 2-0 before they enter region play. They got Lebanon coming in next week. You got Station Camp, who's also 1-0, and then you got Hendersonville, Central, and Rossview, who are currently 0-1 going into week 2. So it'll be interesting to see how this region shakes out.
Yeah, and I'd be surprised, honestly, if Mount Juliet didn't win the region for a third year in a row. But, Hendersonville and Lebanon, I don't expect to see them go lightly. Of course, Lebanon will be here next week, as we've mentioned a few times, for the big game of the week, My TV 30. And like I said, Jonathan Hutton and his crew will be on the call for that one. We'll be back after that. So 3rd and 1 here for Mass and Overton. Let's see if they can get this first down, maybe get something rolling. Handoff's going to go to number 3. That's Trent McCrary. And he's stuffed by all the entire Mount Juliet defensive line. They're going to bring 4th down. And let's see.
Once again, getting a little chippy down there.
Yeah, Jace Pardue, number 42. And Quarterback Sam Mast for Overton had some words after the play. Going to bring up the end of the third quarter. Mount Juliet leads Overton 32-0 here from Mel Brown Athletic Complex in Mount Juliet. We head to the fourth quarter. All Mount Juliet so far tonight. Little Bobby Roode shooting over the loudspeaker here in Mount Juliet. A little WWE action. Glorious. Probably familiar with it if you attend Nashville Predators games as well. Again, this is Shea Flatt broadcasting live with Zach Tompkins from Mel Brown Athletic Complex, where Mount Juliet and Overton facing off under the lights here tonight on Friday night. Mount Juliet leads the game 32-0 against Overton. To bring up 4th and 1 for Overton. They're going to go for it. Why not to start the fourth quarter here? Still a lot of those defensive starters and second string guys out there from Mount Juliet. By no means throwing in the towel on defense here.
Looking like an all-out blitz.
Quarterback keeper. I think he got enough push to give him a first down. He did. He's out to the 46-yard line, gain 2 on the quarterback sneak.
First down, Overton.
First down, Overton. Why not? Sam Mast, 6'1", 215. Pretty good-sized quarterback. Let him take the snap, fall forward, push, push, push. First down, Overton. They needed that one.
Looking like number 34, Derek Miller, checking into the game, and also number 48, Cameron Sowell from Mount Juliet on the defensive line.
Yeah, Cameron Malone, number 6, outside at the corner spot with number 14, Ray O'Daffer, taking over at the free safety. A couple young guys want to see how they play. This ball's intercepted. Mast sailed it. This ball is going to be returned all the way back to the 20-yard line.
Pass intercepted.
It looks like Colby Martin. It was Colby Martin on the interception, brought it all the way back to the 22-yard line, and Mount Juliet's in business again. And we'll see if Mount Juliet can continue to add to this lead as we enter the fourth quarter. And Mast has made some good throws on the night, Zach. Really sailed that one high, put it right in the chest of Martin, and he made an easy interception and picked up the return there as well. And we got number 19, Bryce Messenger, taking over at quarterback for Mount Juliet. The 5'10", 180-pound sophomore will lead this offense seemingly probably for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and back to that interception, Colby Martin, right place, right time. And, ever since he fumbled that ball back in the beginning of the game, he has certainly redeemed himself with some excellent plays. He's going to be feeling a lot better about himself tonight after, what could have been after what was, a tough start for him. Good to see him having success.
Absolutely is. Here's number 6, Cameron Malone, goes wide. Gains a couple yards. Bring up third down for Mount Juliet.
Number 81 on the tackle, Neil Monday.
I'll tell you, Zach, we touched on it a little bit last week. You look at guys like Colby Martin, Michael Rutland, Reggie Grimes, some of these guys playing both ways for Mount Juliet, and it's a big, big help to have athletes like this that are able to not only play both sides, but really, really contribute on both sides of the ball.
Yes, sir, and especially when you have so many of them, and when you have so many of them, you can just mix them in and out. And oh, what a good run there by number 17.
Jamari Sowell on the carry. Got wide and almost kept his footing and stayed in bounds. He would have scored if he had. He, nonetheless, picks up 10 yards and a first down.
Jamari Sowell on the carry.
But, yeah, like you're saying, when you have so many skill players, you can mix them in, throughout the game, keeping guys rested, and, it's just so beneficial, especially when you have so many skill players with that much athleticism. And, kudos to Mount Juliet and their, their strength trainers and getting these guys and their bodies prepared for the tough season. And so far it's through 2 games it's looked like Mount Juliet has been the more well-conditioned team, and I'd say that half of that goes to the condition of the players, and also the other half of that goes to the amount of players that they have that can play at a high level.
Also, you look at this strength and conditioning program led by Curtis Grawl at Mount Juliet. I'm not exaggerating. In my opinion, the best strength and conditioning program in the state of Tennessee in high school football. Curtis Grawl could easily be coaching strength and conditioning for a collegiate football team. He is just outstanding in what he does year in and year out for this football team. And talking to Trey Perry a little bit in the offseason, and he told me, one of the things that went into the switch to the wing T this year was, you got to have big athletic guys on the offensive line to get out there and pull, but you got to have strong guys. And, one thing that he's noticed in his time here at Mount Juliet, whether it be as a defensive coordinator or now as the head coach, got Overton, a guy walking off the field. I think that's number 67 there.
I think it's 50.
Is it
57, maybe.
57, okay.
Evan Davis.
Okay. Good to see him walking off under his own power. But, yeah, Perry told me, throughout his time here, they're always strong because Graw's always got them strong, whether they're undersized on the offensive line. They're always almost stronger than their opponent, breaking weight room records left and right every year. And that goes a big, long way into giving you a good offensive line as Malone takes another carry to the outside here. But, when you can rely on a strength program like that and know that no matter who you got in there, year in, year out, you're recycling players every 4 years, as we know, and have continued each and every year to have a very strong football team. They believe this year they not only have the strong football team, but also a very athletic football team as well. And I'll tell you, Zach, you talk about the conditioning of Overton. It's either that or something we see a lot and more in mostly college football as these offenses go up tempo. But a lot of times, hate to say it, but, defenses will take an injury to slow down an offense. And, seeing some of the frustration on the Mount Juliet sideline down there, they might think a little bit of that's going on right now. Seems every play Overton's got somebody down that ends up walking off the field just perfectly fine. So don't want to assume. Hopefully none of that's going on here tonight, and hope all these players are doing all right. But, if that's the case, in my opinion, no room for that in the sport of football, and something that you definitely don't want to see creep into the high school game the way it has college.
Right, and this defense, they've been on the field a long time tonight, and just – when you're out there for so long and you're so tired, and I'm sure a lot of these Overton players play both sides of the ball too, and they're just out there on the field for such a long time. And like I said, it's hard to get your body in the kind of shape right now when you haven't experienced it yet. Only playing one game so far this year. These guys have got to, their bodies have to learn how to adapt, and they have to learn how to prepare themselves to be ready to go for a full 4-quarter game on Friday night. And so you can obviously see that that's taking a toll on the Overton players.
Sure is. And, it's going to be 4th and goal at the 3. Mount Juliet's going to bring Robbie Brewington on to kick the field goal here. 8:30 and clock running for Mount Juliet, leading 32-0. 20-yard field goal attempt for Brewington is up through. It is good, 35-0. Mount Juliet extends their lead once again. We got 8:20 to go in the game.
Mount Juliet Golden Bears 35.
And now as we've entered the 35-point margin in the 4th quarter, we have now hit the running clock as the clock continues to run. So I want to go ahead and give this shout out really quick to make sure that we hit on this point. Big props to Mr. James Peach, the teacher, the BNN Channel 9 news teacher here at Mount Juliet. It's a phenomenal job that he has done to get this set up for Shay and myself and his staff that he has working with him, his students that work the cameras and have gotten everything set up. I mean, it's just they've done a phenomenal job, especially starting pretty much from scratch on this thing. And big shout out to him and for creating this thing and getting it going. And just wanted, just to say that I'm happy to be a part of it, and I'm looking forward to where we can grow this thing moving forward.
Yeah, Zach, and that's something that we talked about. We were remiss in not mentioning last week. It kind of got out of hand with the running clock, and we ended up not getting to it. But one of the first things I thought of when we got off the mic last week is not mentioning that crew. And none of this is possible without them, and they are doing a phenomenal job. I just want to point out some of the things that they've brought into this. And you look at it from week 1 to week 2, and all the improvements. Last week we were up here, we had a couple microphones and we did it, and we feel like we did a good job. This week we came in and he had a crowd mic set up, catching crowd noise. He had headsets for us so that we could a little bit better hear each other throughout the game. And, that crew, you look at a broadcast like this, you might be watching from home and think, man, these two guys are doing a phenomenal job. You don't see Mr. Peach and the 7, 8, 9 guys that he's got working with him and just doing a phenomenal job on the camera and making sure that you can hear us, making sure we get this broadcast out to you. And that BNN crew does an excellent, excellent job week in and week out, and we couldn't thank them enough.
Oh, yeah, big time. You can reference them as they are the offensive linemen, as I was saying earlier. They're putting in all the work behind the scenes, getting it done, allowing other guys like us to kind of, I guess you would call it, carry the spotlight to bring this coverage to you guys.
Sure. 3rd and 4 as that pass falls incomplete. And Zach, we got 5 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the game. Clock running here, and let me ask you, what's the score right now, Zach?
The score of this game?
Yeah.
That would be 35-0.
Can I show you something?
Yes.
When I was texting with Coach Howland, and our buddy Cody Harrison threw out, what do you think the score will be this week? And Coach Howland obviously not going to partake in that as a coach, but I threw out a score. What was that score as you read my phone here, Zach?
Yeah, Shay, that'd be you saying that Mount Juliet would win the game 35-0.
Okay, I don't mean to brag, but I mean, can it get much better than that?
Oh man, well, you still got 5 minutes to go, so don't speak too soon now. You already did.
Yeah,
so.
I did. I mean, I was ready to say it, even if I came this close. I wanted it to be known. Like, I'm pretty much a genius here in the booth.
Well, yeah, pretty much a genius. I don't know about all that, but I will say good call on the score. And you never know here. Mount Juliet and their ability to block punts. Now they're just going to hang back there.
Yeah.
Creo Daffer, good job catching the football.
Yep, and like we said, that's one of these things that this coaching staff's going to look for. Deep in this game, you got a punt returner back there and no Daffer that's not your normal guy back there. Send him back there. Is he going to get a big head and try to make a play when he should fair catch it? Not the case. Mount Juliet is such a well-coached football team, and we like to see that. O'Daffer comes in there, calls the fair catch like he should, gets under it, secures the fair catch, tosses it to the referee. Textbook as Mount Juliet and quarterback Bryce Messenger take the field again, leading 35-0. 3 minutes, 50 seconds to go, clock running. Handoff's going to go up the middle. It's going to be number 21 on the carry. His first carry, I believe his second carry of the game, Conlon Baggett.
Quick score update that I'm seeing just a minute ago. In the fourth quarter, Oakland 21, Maryville 17.
Yeah, it's a game that Maryville led, I believe, 17-6 in the fourth quarter, but looks like Oakland has come back to take the lead. Here's Messenger under center. He's going to hand it off again. It's going to go for a first down by Baggett. He's out to the 48-yard line, and a first down for Mount Juliet.
So real quick before this game ends,
Stanley for Overton.
Now going into next week, you got to think about it. You got Lebanon coming in. Big time game right there. Going to be on, the My TV 30 game of the week. Going to be on TV. Cross County, other than Wilson Central, probably the second biggest rival for Mount Juliet in Lebanon, who's got a pretty good football team this year. So, going to have to go back to work, get ready to go, and I guess get yourselves ready to kind of take it to the next level because your competition is, kind of steadily increasing week to week. It certainly should be a game that Mount Juliet should be able to come out on top at the end. But, certainly going to have to go back to the practice field this week and put in that time, do the scouting and all that good stuff, watch the film, correct the mistakes, and be ready to rock and roll against the Blue Devils next week.
Obviously, yeah, I absolutely agree, Zach. And Lebanon coming in, there's going to be a lot of focus on two guys. Yeah, and you're going to hear a lot about Zion Logue from Lebanon. He's the defensive lineman committed to the University of Georgia. You're going to hear a lot about Reggie Grimes. Of course, for Mount Juliet with offers from pretty much everywhere in the country. But this game is going to be a lot more than those two guys. Obviously, good ball players, but, Mount Juliet, as we've seen, they're a lot more than just one guy. This is a team effort. Reggie Grimes, just for example's sake, Mount Juliet leads 35-0, and Grimes has touched the ball. Let's see. Grimes has touched the ball 6 times for 64 yards. Good game, but, definitely not like he's out there running for 250, 300 yards and carrying this Mount Juliet offense, which has over 300 yards rushing on the night, and he's only got 64 of them. So, I just want to say that I think you're right. A lot of people in Lebanon think this is the year they end the streak. 9 consecutive victories for Mount Juliet over Lebanon in the series, in the rivalry. A lot of people from Lebanon think this is the year they stop. I think you're right. I think Mount Juliet comes out on top. I think they can win that game, or should win that game as long as they play their brand of football. But I'd be surprised if we saw another 35-0 game next week, as Lebanon is going to give Mount Juliet a little bit more of a problem than that. And we'll see. It'll definitely be Mount Juliet's toughest test to date. We'll have My TV 30 here broadcasting it live. A lot of eyes will be on the Mel Brown Athletic Complex next week as Mount Juliet and Lebanon tangle, as it might be the last play of the game here from Mount Juliet, as Mount Juliet's going to win this one 35-0. But, yeah, we're looking forward to next week. We got Lebanon at Mount Juliet. Region 4-6A is going to hear that one. Going to be a big-time matchup between the Blue Devils and the Golden Bears. And, Zach, we got, once again, the rice cooking in the microwave here at the Bear Den. And, Zach, we will see everybody next week when Lebanon takes on Mount Juliet. Of course, we won't be on the broadcast ourselves, but we'll be here watching. Can't wait to see what happens next week, Zach.
As we take on Lebanon. Kickoff, 7 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, next week, Lebanon coming in here, we'll be ready to rock and roll. And like you said, rice cooking in the microwave. They play that song every time after a Mount Juliet high school game, and we can't get enough of hearing that song, man. We love it when Mount Juliet wins, and as the old Blake Hall used to say, Bears win, Bears win.
Good night. Have a good weekend, Mount Juliet.
They blocked the kick. Yeah. We blocked the punt. Tipped the punt. Blocked the field. Blocked the field. Blocked the field goal. When they blocked our punt, I was like, why did they go down trying to keep it up? Because even if we fell on it, it would have been a turnover. Right. Who didn't try to get over?
In the microwave, got a 3-day beard I don't plan to shave, and it's a goofy thing, but I just gotta say, hey.